What surprised me the most this lift specifically is how much we progressed. Because when I did this workout, I was working on like 4 hours of sleep. Because I recorded this video, I did a workout like after I did an exam, and that exam was like at 8:40 something a.m. or maybe 9 a.m. I think it was about 9 a.m. and then I finished the test about 11, and then I just went back home and I got some food, and then I just went straight back into the gym. So I wasn't really working on much energy and sleep because I was hella tired. I'll be honest, I was hella tired, but I really wanted to put this video out and test my limits, especially considering the circumstances I was in, or the predicaments I was in. But surprisingly, we still moved some heavy ass weight. Like this, the barbells that we did right here, I haven't tried this weight in about, I want to say in like a month or two. Actually no, let me say a month, or just under a month. And last time I tried it, we got it for 1 rep, and that rep was like a long ass rep, so I didn't just curl it. It took like a lot of me to curl that rep. But now when I curl this weight, we're in the 3 to 5 rep range. So that alone shows me enough that we're progressing regardless of how much sleep I get. Because these 2 days actually, I haven't slept. Like my sleep schedule has been kind of messed up. But I am done with my exams now, so our sleep schedule is going to go back to normal. In fact, I'm going to be recording a chest video tomorrow morning. Hopefully I record that. But yeah, with this lift, even though this is the same weight right here, we are still in the 3 to 5 rep range. And I didn't even rest that much after the sets. That's one thing I need to start doing. I need to start resting much more and much longer than I normally do. Because I'd be resting for like 30 something seconds and I just get into the next workout or the next rep, set, whatever, and it works out perfectly fine for me. Actually not perfectly fine, because sometimes I do be not progressing, I don't be performing as I did the last set or whatever. But with the preacher girls, I decided to take it light, like 10 pounds lighter, but it still felt like I had more in me, so I just changed the weight back to my normal, which is like 140 pounds, and we still repped it like we had a full schedule of sleep, even though we didn't. So I'm kind of confused in how I was able to move such weight and put in so much effort regardless of how much slept I got. So that's really something I'm questioning on how I was able to achieve this. And because you guys can see we're low-key kind of getting vascular as well, so much more leaner. And I'm not sure what I'm doing differently, but the one thing I've noticed that I've changed, or that I've done differently than I used to, is I'm much more locked in than I am now than I was in the past. Because we've hit, I think, was it last week? Yeah, I think last week we hit all our muscles, and that's something I haven't done in a long time. Because normally I'm like hella busy or something, I just have some excuse to employ. But now, like, the excuses, I've been saying this for some time, actually not for some time, maybe like a week. I've been saying excuses just can't work for me anymore. Like, that's the one thing I've hated about myself for so long, is that I make up some bullshit ass excuses and I still use that as an excuse to not work out. But now it's like, even though I make these excuses, I still end up doing the workout. It's like a conscious thing. If you guys know what I mean, like, even though I say I'm not going to do it, my body ends up doing it, if you know what I mean. But on a different note, we are definitely increasing our strength at a very undeniable and fast rate. Because as I just said, we were working on 3-4 hours of sleep, and I had to wake up at like 6 a.m. Yeah, I woke up at like 6 a.m. or 6:45 a.m. and I went to my bed at like 3 because I was studying for the exam, obviously. And we left to go do the exam at like 8:45, and came back at 11, went to the gym, and we still performed at a very impressive rate, especially these cable curls. I added an extra £5 to this weight right here, and normally we do £5 less, obviously. But as I said, this workout, I was just trying to test my limits, trying to see how good and how far I can perform. But we added £5. I added £5 to this weight right here, and we still are in the 3 to 5 rep range. So I think we hit for like 4 reps. But it was pretty surprising to me, because obviously we didn't get as much sleep. But apart from that, we do need to, I feel like with every week or two, I want to see if we can increase the weight by even if it's a small amount. So if we can increase the weight next lift by like £5 again, 10 pounds, then we're going to be ended up full stacking it in about less than a month. Because we're like I think we're about 3-4 plates away from full stacking it. When I mean plates, I mean like doing this little like weight, this kind of weight plates, not actual like dumbbell plate. But we're like 3-4 plates away from full stacking it. And to be honest, I feel like we can definitely full stack it in a very short amount of time, because the amount of progression that we've been making in a small amount of time, let's say in about 3-2 weeks, I definitely know that our weight that we be curling in any workout, any set, is definitely going to increase. I feel like for this tricep dips, actually, we should have tried our the 2 plates, because obviously we just be doing 1 plate now, but we can do 2 plates, like 2-3 reps. But I underestimated myself because I was working on 3 or 4 hours of sleep. So I was like, let me not push my limits, let me not push my body too much to the point where I'm going to be unable to work out. But oh yeah, with the cable curls as well, I was beginning to get like a little nauseous, if you want to call it, if that's what it's called. Because obviously I said I added some £5 weight. I added some weight to the original weight that we normally lift, and we went to a failure as usual. But I think that's what made my mind get a bit fuzzy. So I feel like next time, definitely not working out at like with 3 or 4 hours of sleep. We need to be getting 8 minimum. That's what we normally do. So next we'll lift when we get a normal amount of sleep, and we wake up ready to work out with a somewhat of a decently full stomach. Not like a hella full stomach, I mean like just not eggs alone, because that's all I was working on, eggs and some water and barely any sleep. So considering the predicament that we was in, we still went crazy this lift. That's evident, that's obvious, but it's quite surprising. Obviously, that's what makes working out as a whole so addictive to me. Like, obviously there's some stages when it comes to working out. Like the first stage, when everyone's working out, you know, they're getting into it, whatever. Then once they start seeing progress, I think that's where the obsession starts. Well, that's where it started with me, because I remember when I first started, when I started seeing progress, I started seeing veins, whatever. I remember when it came to rest days, it's like I couldn't stand no working out. That's the point I reached. Like, I couldn't not work out, if you know what I mean. Obviously it was a rest day, so I had to rest, and obviously resting plays a big part in making getting size, getting strength, whatever. So I still ended up hitting the rest day. But I remember when there was a time when I reached that time where I couldn't stop working out, if you know what I mean. But yeah, apart from that, I feel like the stage where I'm at right now is where I'm still have that same kind of mentality where I can't stop working out. Or not when I can't, let me not say I can't stop working out. I'm gonna say like where I can't, it feels like a sin to not work out. Especially if the excuse I have for not working out is some bullshit. Like, when I don't work out, especially if the reason I have is not, it's not explainable. It just feels wrong. And I think everyone that is locked in has reached that stage before, or they're currently in that stage. I feel like I've been in that stage forever now. I've always been in that stage, even since the beginning days. But apart from that, I know now that the goals that I need to achieve and the path that I need to take is it's an enjoyable one, and I'm going to keep reaching higher to make sure that I achieve those goals. But I don't want to say achieve those goals, because once you achieve that goal, what's next? If you know what I mean. So I don't like classifying it as a goal. I'm just classifying it as a journey, an enjoyable and resilient journey. Yeah, that's the word I want to use. But yeah, this is the end of this workout. I'll see you guys in the next lift. I think it's chest. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some chest. I'm gonna be so ready for that, because we're hitting 265 in that on the chest flies rather. I want to see how far I can actually go and push myself to the limit and test my strengths. But yeah, I'll see you lot in the next one.